Hello, Sagittariuses. Welcome. My name is Alyssa. This is my channel of New Direction, and this beautiful space is the Salt Room at Teal Thistle Salon here in Emro, my little hometown. And this is my Reiki room, so I needed better internet, so I am here to upload videos. So it is a salon, so if you do hear talking in the back, I do apologize, but there's just nothing I can do about that. All right, let's get into this. So this is kind of an energy forecast reading, I guess you could call it, for the month of November. November is like we're getting to the end of 2020. Like I can't even believe that we're in November, but here we are. I have already pulled oracle cards in regards to the energy that we're coming from October and the energy that you're moving into in November. So let's get started. All right. So, from the Energy Oracle deck, you pulled Patience and a Door to Personal Healing and Happiness. This can be something, this can be the energy really where you have been doing this healing process. You have been working on yourself in, this year of 2020, and really where, it's kind of taken some time maybe for you to kind of like sort out all aspects of it. Maybe it's just taken time for certain things to kind of unfold or to come to an end or whatever that looks like. But here, this is really the energy moving from October was really that energy I felt of, this personal healing and happiness is something that is taking its time. Okay, something that is been a bit of a process. The whale spirit came out with this, and that's trust the great mystery, and the pig spirit as well, which is use your mind wisely. And I loved how these energies really played so beautifully in together, because this whale spirit is like, the whale is here from the beginning of time, and it always kind of amazes me. But our souls, everything that we, go through this life trying to understand and trying to learn, that is actually deep within us. What we need, the strength we need, the lessons we need, those are all things that are actually structured and rooted deep within our soul. It just takes the 3D life lessons of our life this time to kind of like trigger the knowledge that our soul already knows. And this kind of combination of energy here is just very beautiful, because it's about, trusting that no matter what is in front of you at this time, there's a purpose, there's a reason. The pig spirit is about using your mind wisely. And this is no matter what the situation is at hand, no matter how hard or time consuming maybe this healing has been, maybe there's been situations that keep coming up and, you keep having to dig deeper and deeper and deeper into them right now. But have a positive outlook on this. Every time something comes up, just take a deep breath, let that go, and almost like force your mind kind of in a way to look for the positive side of that, to look for the positive, light within it. The energy that you're moving into here, victory and contract. For some of you, there could be legal situations going on that you're, maybe kind of like waiting and pondering and hoping that it's going to work out. But this is some sort of victory here, the energy of victory in whatever contract that looks like. It doesn't necessarily need to be a legal contract. It can be contracts of the soul, okay? It definitely doesn't need to be any sort of like structured, actual like 3D worldly contract. It can be cool soul contracts here, but that energy of victory and what that, victory is going, that energy is really going to change. That's a very general kind of energy because it's going to fit in everybody's life differently. The turtle spirit, though, came out with that and thought slow and steady wins this race. And a porcupine spirit, a time for a beginner's mind. These are beautiful energies because, again, it's like this patience here, and it's just like allow this to take its time. Stop trying to rush the healing process. Stop trying to rush this new beginning process. Allow it to unfold in the time that it needs to unfold here, Sagittariuses. Those are beautiful energies. I love them. All right. We are going to pull tarot for you guys from the Good Tarot. I really love this deck. It's such a beautiful deck. And actually, it's the first one. This is the first time I'm using it for the zodiac signs this month. You guys are the first. All right, Sagittarius. Let's see. Sagittarius is Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watcher. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 lines here. We're going to start with the emotional line, the spiritual line, and then the energy of the actions needed here. And these are really looking at the energies that we're talking about for this month. Okay, guys? 4 of Swords. That's very much the energy of having to kind of take a step back, do some healing, do some time. 10 of water. Oh, look at that. The love. Well, that was more than I was thinking. The star and the page of air. Wow, those are beautiful. All right, let's see. Spiritually, what is the energy here spiritually? Page of water. Queen of fire. Six of air. Wow. Sagittarius, what a beautiful reading so far. I haven't even started. Two of earth. Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, Messenger of Earth and Messenger of Fire. Oh my goodness, Sagittarius, what a beautiful reading. All right, let's see. So here on this emotional kind of the energy here of this emotional line, it's the four of air and the 10 of water, which is the 4 of swords and the 10 of cups. And this energy here is really where you need to do some self-healing. Really where you need, the 4 of swords is about taking a time out. It's about sitting with yourself and allowing yourself the time you need to sort out what is going on. Okay? Just allowing yourself to rest, giving yourself permission to take a step back here, and focus on you, focus on the healing that needs to happen with here, focus on the happiness, right? Focus on your happiness and what that looks like. Don't, this is the 4 of swords and the 10 of cups. This isn't the space, where you're worried about other people's happiness. This is the space where you acknowledge that your happiness and your healing and your emotional energy has to, it stems from a place of self. You're not going to be good to anybody else if you do not have that, love for self, that fullness and happiness within self, if that healing isn't done. The Lovers came after this, and this is really the duality. And I love the Lovers because, the Lovers is a romantic card. It's a sensual card, it's kind of everything in between, but the Lovers is talking about duality. The Lovers is talking about a blending of action and intuition. Okay. And in this emotional line here, for some of you, you could be dealing with, romantic situations where, you're kind of taking this time to really center on yourself and do that kind of self-love. Because when we go and combine our energies with any sort of other relationship, that doesn't have to just be romantic, but any sort of other relationship, if we are lacking in our own self, in our own self-love, then the love that we show up to give, it has empty parts to it, right? It has those parts where there's nothing, we don't have the energy to sustain that love because we can't fulfill it for ourselves. So therefore we need that love from somebody else. That's how codependency is created. See, and it doesn't necessarily, codependency doesn't stem from just romantic relationships. Not at all. It can stem from family relationships. It can stem from friendships, right? The star card was after that in the page of air. I kind of feel like this energy here of this emotional line is just really this energy of you understanding and doing the self-work and the healing within self, and then understanding how your energy, when you do your own personal energy and your own reflection of energy, how that energy looks, what that energy looks like, the energy you can share, what that looks like. Luck is on your side. Wow, that's beautiful. Actually, I'm going to pull one for all of these. A time to give rather than a time to take. And the energy is gaining momentum. Okay. And step out of your comfort zone actually was on the bottom of that deck. All right, we're going to clarify some of these. So we're going to clarify the Lovers actually here. And the Lovers got the Emperor. Look at that. I love this. Okay. To me, this is very much the self-acknowledgement maybe where you need to kind of step up and do that acknowledgement piece of where you end and others begin. Okay, this is where you need to understand the lion. Look at how there's a lion both in here. The lion that is within your own soul. Okay? And I feel that, this 4 of Swords energy where you do this reflection and this healing of self here, I think that allows you to see your strength. Look, change, Wheel of Fortune. For some of you, giving yourself this peace, giving yourself this time out, allowing yourself to do this healing maybe isn't something that you do often or have done often, okay? But this time out allows you to shift the energy here, okay? This reflection period here allows you to look at this from a different perspective. You know, it allows you to actually put in motion the changes that need to come. I kind of almost get the feeling that like I'm hearing like it allows you to like hear your own self think. It allows you to hear your intuition. It allows you to hear your inner guidance and what that looks like and your clarity. Let's get one here for the 10 of Cups. And the 10 of Cups gets the 10 of Wands. And the Hierophant, look at that. This 10 of Cups is really, you know, this happiness comes from when you acknowledge that sometimes you just need to let shit go and connect, you know, connect to the Hierophant, connect to the high, to the divine, connect to a higher purpose here. But it's almost this, like, I feel like this 10 of Cups, this happiness, this, you know, emotional fulfillment. It comes when you just cut the shit that isn't going to fit in your life. Okay, when you acknowledge and look at it from a different perspective and say, you know what, that's just not for me. That's just not going to serve me. That kind of energy is emotionally draining me. Okay, and then like this Lovers and the Emperor here, you understand your side, your power, and what that looks like in that kind of energy, what that looks like in a blending of energies, what your wholeness looks like. Let's get one here for the Star. The Star gets, wow, the Star gets the 4 of Wands, the 4 of Fire, and the Empress. And the Page of Air gets the King of Fire. The Star here, these energies here, it's almost as though, you know, you are praying and wishing and really hoping for happiness, you know, and for this ability to manifest and co-create this new kind of emotional life for yourself, you know, this new beginning on like an emotionally more fulfilling, whole, balanced kind of way, right? Something that actually like stems from your soul and grows from your soul. It's kind of like that happy and that completion and you know, and those friendships and those relationships that you're growing with, right? And the Page of Air here, this is kind of like this energy of really like being in the, clarified by the King of Fire. This is kind of that energy where you're almost like pausing. Okay, you're still kind of doing that pause phase. It's not as though even there's actions being made here, but you're doing all of the growth. You're doing all of this research to like really what you authentically are, who you authentically are. I feel like there's this like big as this emotional energy here. This is like a big reflection of like, you know what? This is really what my soul is all about, you know, and this is who I need to show up to in being, and this is what I need from other people within this, you know, within my own life. But very much like the clarity and kind of the vision of who you are authentically. You know, and that's such a beautiful energy to be coming to. I really kind of love how November 2020 is like, you know, where the shit's been piled on and now it's time for harvest. You know, 2020 piled all of the shit on us because that's what happens. You know, farmers spread shit on fields to help crops grow. 2020 spread shit on all of us so that we would grow, and now it's the harvest time. You know, and this is really this energy kind of here where you're like doing that self-reflection, doing that self-healing, doing that self-acknowledgement, to understand, okay, this is the part that I can actually change. This is the part of me that I actually want to grow. This is where I need to change who I am and how I show up authentically to myself. Okay? And luck is on your side. It really is. Okay? Page of Cups. This is the beginning here. This is the spiritual energy here. You know, and the spiritual energy here is that kind of, it's that connection again to the higher and what that looks like in our lives. The Page of Cups, the Queen of Fire, and the Six of Swords. And I really feel like this is kind of that beginning energy where you're opening yourself up to new beginnings, to new understanding, to new kind of, it could be to new love, it could be just to new opportunities. But there's something here that's bringing some sort of a new emotional beginning. Clarified by the Ten of Swords. That's kind of cool. This energy of beginning comes because you've cut something away. You see, when you do this kind of self-healing work that happens in this emotional line here, you're releasing yourself from whether that was negative thinking or toxic people or toxic situations or just cycles and patterns of, old toxic behaviors. But this is the beginning here. This is where you've acknowledged that I'm not going forward that way anymore. I'm not carrying that kind of energy. I'm not living that kind of life. I'm switching my mindset, right? This pig spirit, you're using your mind differently for a more positive reason, right? Because Sagittarius you are doing this personal growth. You are doing this healing, right? You're in this phase of it. So in order to grow forward with new beginnings, you have to cut away the shit that isn't going to serve you. And that's really what's happening here. Queen of Fire. Queen of Fire gets the Ace of Cups, the Five of Fire, and the Two of Swords, the Two of Air. Okay, this Queen of Cups is really, again, where you open up to your authenticity, where you understand that you deep within inside you, that soul that is calling you, your intuition, what you connect to as a spiritual being, what you connect to when you connect to your soul. Here's where you open yourself up to it. Here's where you open that kind of, you almost like take the cup of opportunity here. Level yourself up where you've been blocked before. It's like, okay, you know what? I understand that if I show up to my truth, if I show up to who I am, then by showing up to that person, by showing up to that kind of truthful, authentic self, I therefore accept the cup that Spirit is offering me. I accept the cup of authenticity. And by accepting that cup of authenticity, you level yourself up. Okay, where you've been blocked before, you're able to move from it. And maybe it's even kind of that energy of feeling blocked, of feeling unsure of how to even like move yourself into this. But then you need to start with the stepping into yourself authentically. Then you need to understand and go back and kind of do this Four of Swords again, this reflection, right? This reflection of self and that quiet time and listening to that inner voice, listening to authentically what your soul is asking you and guiding you to do. The Six of Air was after that. That's the Six of Swords. And this is a card of movement. Okay, this is a card of transformation, of growing. Again, like that Five of Wands, that leveling up. But this is a transformation of moving from one place to the next, and from one maybe not even places, but from one way of thinking to a new, more positive way of thinking. This is change. This is growth. This is also painful and sometimes kind of rocky. Okay? The Six of Air gets the Seven of Cups. Because, there can be a lot of different options to movement. There can be a lot of different kind of, options that even kind of present themselves to you. And again, we must choose the direction that aligns us to our authenticity. That, we must choose the cups. The Seven of Cups here is all these options. And we must choose the cups that are going to actually align with what our soul is calling us to do, right? Because if it doesn't align with like what we're being called to do, then it just doesn't work. That's the purpose here, right? The purpose is to find your authenticity and then to move yourself down that road so that you can align yourself to a path that is best for you, that is serving of your soul. Okay? A time to give rather than a time to take. New moon in Virgo. And then these actions, this energy of these actions needed was the Two of Pentacles, the Messenger of Earth, and the Messenger of Fire. And the waxing moon. The energy is gaining momentum. And this is really the energy of, the actions you need to take need to be balanced. Not only within actual like actions and tangible steps within your life, but within the intuition, within the guidance. You have to be able to balance your intuition and your action like this. You have to be able to listen to your intuition and compromise with the actions, that you can do or that you can't do in your life, right? The Messenger of Earth is this energy of slow movement. It's this energy of showing up and diligently putting the work in, diligently making the steps to align yourself to becoming your true authentic self, which is the Messenger of Fire. The Knight of Wands is all about the energy of feeling the passion of authenticity, of feeling the passion of self, The Two of Earth gets the Fool. because I feel like this is an energy of really new beginning for you. This is kind of like a new step, you know, and the Fool is all about this new kind of journey that you're on as a new being, you know, and this Two of Pentacles is asking you, please start this journey more with a more flexible kind of balanced way. You know, go forward with that, with a spiritual kind of side to your journey. That's not a religious side to your journey. Spirituality and religion, I mean, they're all in the, like, they're in the same kind of boat, but they're definitely not the same. Spirituality is beyond the box of religion, okay? And this is where it's just asking you to listen to the inner voice, to balance the action side of your life with the inner voice side of your life. You know, don't allow the action side to lead you. This is a new beginning to this, Sagittarius. All right, let's get one here for the Messenger of Earth. And the Messenger of Earth gets the Nine of Air. Gets two. Gets the Nine of Air and the King of Air. And the Messenger of Fire gets the Strength. Wow, that's beautiful. This Nine of Swords and this this Nine of Air and this King of Air. You know, the Nine of Air is really where you can be feeling kind of that anxiety, where you can be feeling as though, you know, you've been stuck and you're worried and you're anxious and you're not, maybe not sleeping well at night. Sorry, guys. Alexa, can you please turn down the music? Thank you. Sorry, the commercials come on every like half hour. Anyway, this Messenger of Earth here, this is like that energy of having the faith that even if your anxieties are getting in front of your face, or even if your worries or your mind or your negative thinking is kind of getting in front of your face, this is the energy of having the clarity just to keep putting one foot in front of the other, to understand that even if the healing isn't right at your fingertips right now, you're still moving in that direction. Okay? You're releasing and working through what needs to be released and worked through. And if you're not, then you need to start there, right? Because that's how we work through this. You know, and this Messenger of Fire, the Knight of Wands here, clarified by the inner strength. Because it's asking you to embrace your authenticity here. The action is to just come forward with who you are. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be afraid of it. Speak your truth. Speak your light. Okay? Not everybody is going to like it, and that's fine. You weren't made to be liked by everybody. Okay? But the divine will love you. The divine will shine upon you and bless you when you come forward with your authenticity, because you are made to be authentic to your being. Okay? You weren't made to be a fake facade. You weren't. The energy here is gaining momentum. Wow. Okay, let's see. We're going to pull a moon card for the divine masculine here. It's time to release negativity. You know, and as much as this is divine masculine, we must also put that into our action sides. You know, if you're a female and you're not a man, and you're like, oh, I'm not a divine masculine, that's fine. In the action side of your life here, please release the negativity, okay? It's time to release negativity. And the divine feminine gets adjustments are required, okay? There's some things that still need to shift. There's some changes that need to be made. Don't be afraid of them. Release the negativity and then, you know, make the adjustments that are required. I mean, we're not set and stuck in going one direction. We have the opportunity to change at any point. You should be experiencing the life that is happening to you, not the one you wish was happening. Don't waste a moment of life trying to make other things happen. Appreciate the moments you are given. How beautiful. Sagittarius, I hope you take great care of your souls for this month of November. If you liked this video, please click the like button. If you have not hit the subscribe button, do that as well. Okay, guys, take great care of your souls. Bye now.